Hi, how are you doing? It's good to be in your face again. And thank you for joining me today on today's episode. And we've been discussing live recording, we've discussed pre production, production, and now today we're going to get into the final phase, as it were, on getting your recordings done, which is the post production. So, getting into your post production, actually, by the time you're producing, I wanted to show you last week. I wanted to show you my screen. Uh, I've been involved in a couple of live recording projects and I've been able to produce some of them. So, I'm going to show you my screen. Let me show you what my screen looks like when I'm directing the band for the project. So as you can see, you're going to see how I'm moving from one part, from one section of the song to another. So as the music director and also the music producer and also the music director directing the band on duty, that's what my laptop screen looks like when I'm working with the band. So as I'm performing, I'm also looking at my screen to direct the band and to let the band know what is coming next in the song. So everybody is like in sync. Do you get it? So after the recording, after the production process, as the music producer, I'm going to get the files. So that's what your music producer is meant to do. Or if your music producer is not on site or at the place of the recording, what you're meant to do is to get the files. So your live sound engineer or whoever is handling your live recording rig would make available the files of the recording. It's better to always keep it in an hard drive and send it over to you, or the music producer can just get it there on site. So once you have the files of the recording, the first thing you have to do is to go through all the files, make sure that everything is in sync. Then you have to now sync all the files with the backing track, then make sure that everything is aligned. Alignment is the first thing. Then you have to get into editing, making sure that you're cleaning up parts, maybe any parts that are not necessary. You have to clean them up, make sure that everything is set. So you have to think about, okay, so what else do we need to do? Are there any parts that are out of tune or the pitch is a little bit out of place? Then you have to think about pitch, correcting the pitch. You have to think about making sure that things that are out of place, if you can maybe align the drums a little bit, you can align the drums. This is where you need to check for phase issues in the drums. If there are any phase issues, actually from the production you should have sorted out the phase issues, but if you have not, you can still get that done in the post-production stage. Make sure that the drums, everything is aligned, edited, cleaned up, and ready. Most likely, I'm quite sure that you might want to do overdubs for especially the backing vocals. Usually, if you've watched a lot of live recordings, I'm sure you would appreciate the smoothness you get from the backing vocals. Most of the time, the smooth sound you are looking for from the backing vocals is gotten at post production. So you can actually get your singers back into the studio and let them just do the same thing that they did on stage. Do you understand? But one thing I always say is this. One thing I always tell the artists that I've worked with, especially on live projects, is this: the post-production is not to cover up for errors at the production stage. No, the post-production is to make sure that you're trying to solidify what was done at the production stage. So if you did not rehearse well at pre-production, if the production was shabby, post-production will only do little to cover up for that. So don't always take it as an excuse that, oh, don't worry, we'll fix it. Don't worry, we'll fix it. There's a saying that most mix engineers will know. It's called fix it in the mix. Don't do fix it in the mix. Fix it from the production, fix it from the rehearsal. If everybody needs to sing a certain part, then fix that at your pre-production. fix that while you're rehearsing. Then make sure that everybody gets their part while recording. The attitude, the performance is needed when you're recording. By the time people are watching the video, they have to be able to relate with the video, and those are things that post-production would not fix for you. So you have to make sure that your production is tight. The post-production is just to make sure that you are like embellishing what was done at the production stage. So post-production, so I'm saying this to say that even when you're getting your backing vocals or your backing singers to come into the studio to come and like embellish whatever they've done on stage, is not to make sure that you are taking out whatever they've done, is to make sure that you're bringing out the beauty of whatever they've done, creating that smooth sound from whatever they've done on stage. If there are additional instruments, this is the time where you play or you add the additional instrument, and to make sure that everything is sounding like a record, like a project that you've desired it to sound like. Do you understand? So, and after you're done with the additionals like the background vocals, the additionals like the instruments, you've edited, you've aligned, you've checked the face, everything is sounding tight like you want it to, then you can now go over to the mixing stage. You get all the files and the files that you did while you were recording on stage, and the additional files that you did at the post-production. Then you get all those files to the mix engineer. Then the mix engineer is going to create the magic that you've been looking forward to get from the sound. Then after the mixing engineer, you take it to the mastering engineer, and the mastering engineer optimizes the sound for you, and it's ready for the end users, that is your fans. So you can see that it's actually a very long process from the pre-production stage to the production to the post-production stage. So if you're planning for your next live recording event, I hope that some of these things that I've shared would help you get something better by the time you're recording your next live project. Let's make sure that we get better with our recordings. Let's make sure that we get better. Let's make sure that we get better results for our fans and our customers. I hope this has helped you in a way. Thank you very much for joining me again today. If you have any questions, please put it in the comment section, and I will do my best to answer it in the best way that I can. Please like, please subscribe, and I will see you again in another video. Thank you very much. I'm Dharpsykord. Bye.